Don't adjust your dial. This is the Dandy's Funhouse. But today, my good friend asked me, Count Rahun, to fill in and guest host tonight's show. Although tonight, it's not going to be a fun house, but rather the Count's spooky Spook Shack. And on the Spook Shack today, I am going to do a little test tasting of all of the classic monster cereals and give you my expert opinion on which one is the best. Let's dive right into the Spook Shack.
Where am I?
You just entered the Dandy Spook Shack.
I have great friends, but strange friends. I was honored and yet perplexed to be asked to eat cereal. Vampires typically don't eat cereal, in case you didn't already know that little factoid, but we're going to do our best. So, what better use to call in a favor for a vampire friend than to have him try monster cereals? I couldn't think of a better use of my time, so I am here basically to do a little a taste test of these 4 cereal boxes that I have here, put out by General Mills. These are the Monster cereals. You're probably familiar with at least 2 or 3 of them. So right here, we have the classic Count Chocula. Wait a minute. I've always thought that this particular Count looked like my cousin Al. There is a striking resemblance, but I'm not familiar of any place in the Vampire Kingdom that's covered in chocolate. I'll have to do my research. So, to the left of Count Chocula, we have the Frankenberry, which looks like a really offensive caricature of my son Daryl. But he's more of a berry-infused sort of version of Frankenstein's monster, in case you've never seen a Frankenberry cereal box. I don't know. I like the color, but I don't know how I feel about a berry taste. And so, basically, what I'm doing for my taste test, I'm splitting this up in the rules of professional wrestling, or, as some people say, way further down the Mason-Dixon line, wrestling. We have a bracket. So Count Chocula and Frankenberry are going to be in the first bracket, and to my right I have the other bracket with the other 2 cereals. Here we have a little ghostly fellow on the cereal box, and this is our Boo-Berry. It's a delightful little pun. Boo-Berry. He's like Casper, but it looks like maybe he had some experience in vaudeville in his time. Maybe he did a vaudeville act where he ate too much cereal, and that's why he's a ghost now. Who knows? And to the right of the Boo-Berry, we have the Fruit Brute, which I'm not really sure why it's called Fruit Brute, other than it's obviously a fruity cereal. But the Brute isn't actually a brute; it's a werewolf. So I'm thinking that maybe the marketing firm at General Mills just ran out of things to rhyme, so they had to come up with something on the fly. And I'd also like to note, there seems to be a disproportionate amount of berryism here. We only have the Count Chocula, which is sort of the savory sweetness, but then everything else is fruits and berries, and I don't know, I feel like Count Chocula's sort of left out here to dry on his own. Such is the life of a vampire. And now that we've introduced everything, just a quick history of the monster cereal. So, the line of cereal was actually released in 1971, and Spooks and Spookettes, if you know your monster movie history, this sort of coincides with the big renaissance that was sort of kicked off by famous monsters of filmland. There was a big demand in monster culture and old school monster films. And so General Mills, I would assume, thought it would be a good idea to cash in on this and give us a whole line of monster cereals. And of course, Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Frankenberry have been with us ever since then. These are wildly popular cereals. I don't even eat human food, and I know what they are. Now, the line also included 2 other cereals, the Fruit Brute and Yummy Yummy Fruity Mummy.
Hey, have a bite.
Say that 10 times fast. Now, as you can see, the Yummy Yummy Fruity Mummy, it was actually discontinued sometime in the 80s, and Fruit Brute went away for a while as well. I was told this year that they actually brought it back. So with this fatal 4-way, we'll go ahead and dive right into the tasting. We shall start first with the undercard match. We have the Boo Berry versus the Fruit Brute.
Quiet.
Now, since they recently resurrected Fruit Brute from the dead, I'm going to dive into the Fruit Brute and see what this brings. Oh, no toy. Now keep in mind, Spooks and Spookettes, I'm not a cereal connoisseur, as it were. There's a first time for everything. It looks tasty. It smells very fruity, but is it brutey? That's the real question. Interesting. So this is cereal. So my favorite part is the marshmallow. There's a couple of marshmallows in here. Let me get them out so that everyone can see them. I don't really know what they're in the shape of. We're just gonna say that they're pink and yellow diamonds, because marshmallows are like currency. They're diamonds. They're beautiful. They're a girl's best friend, marshmallows. They're thrown into the cereal. So I have to say, marshmallows in this cereal is kind of a strange texture for me. It's like when I bit into it, it sent chills down my spine. I liked it, but I don't know if that's an appropriate response. So, cream. We'll give a couple more bites. So, it's an enjoyable experience eating food, I must say. I don't know what this will do for me, but so far so good. My first time having cereal, not bad. So now we go to the contender for this undercard, the Boo Berry.
Hello, my name is Boo. Let me finish. Boo Berry.
I just love that. It's such a nice pun. There's nothing to warm the cold black heart of a vampire than a good pun early in the morning. Oh, so with the Fruit Brute, the sort of pinkish looking grains as they were, so you have this design. It almost looks like a little mini ghost, but that is kind of disappointing about the Fruit Brute, because you would hope that they would have something, that looked like the Brute, like a werewolf, and it doesn't. This is starting to look like Boo Berry. So that you have the Boo Berry. They are identical shapes, but they're different colors. So you have the pinkish red, and then you have the purple. So let's see. And this one also has marshmallows. Oh, I like the design of this one, actually. So you have the... I don't know how in-depth of a review you need, but there's more of a variety of marshmallows in this one. So you have... This is looking less like a diamond, maybe more like a little... a light blue pumpkin. That's interesting. That should give the kids a thrill. But look at what we have here. So, like, you have a little bat. It's a little bat. It's a bat-shaped marshmallow. Isn't that wonderful? It's so clever. And let's see here. And then, of course, you have the ghost. You have a ghost-flavored marshmallow in here. So that's something. So there's a little bit more going on here. So now that we have that, let's taste this little pepperette, huh? I heard that off the street. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I seem to be enjoying this one a little bit more than the Fruit Brute. Because, I don't know, I feel like that this was just Blueberry dyed a different color, and this is the real deal. This is Blueberry. This is what we've been looking for all of our lives. This is the culmination of the search of the Holy Grail, of the Ark of the all of that. Okay, I don't know about that, but I think we found our winner for this round here. The Blueberry. I enjoyed the Blueberry quite a bit.
Oh yes, I'm Blueberry. I can see it now. I'm so light on my feet. I'm boogie all night.
It's hard to believe.
These tacos are really good. I can keep the boxes, right? I hope it's in my contract. Okay.
The main event, Frankenberry versus Count Chocula.
Now it is time for our main event bracket. We have the Frankenberry, the oddly offensive caricature of my son, and Count Chocula, who I'm about 90% sure this is a long-lost relative. Let's dig in. You know, I think I'm going to take a break from the berryism here. I'm going to go straight into Count Chocula, which I am told this is the highest selling of the cereals of the Monster line. So let's see what all the fuss is about, shall we? Okay, it seems that the, I don't know what you would call them, the grains, it's basically a chocolate-colored version of Fruit Brute and Blueberry, so this is just a consistent design for the Monster cereal, as if General Mills doesn't know that monsters crave variety in our cereals. I guess we do, I don't know. More marshmallows in this one. Let's see here. There does seem to be a bit of a difference here in the marshmallows from the other two cereals. Looks like we have bats in this one. We had bats in the other one, but they're different colors. It's like some of them are like they're swirled a little bit. Yes, so we have the swirl marshmallows. It's an interesting design here. And now, for the big test. Get my palate cleared. Wow. It still tastes great after the other 80 bites. I can see why you spooks and spookettes like this cereal. I think I could eat chocolate every day of my life. I may give up blood for chocolate. Can I do that? What's the word for somebody who really likes chocolate? A chocolate. I am a chocolate. This can't be healthy for you. There's just no way. It is delightful. It's everything that you dream about. If I could go to heaven, this is where I'd want to be.
You're already dead.
I can dream though, can't I? Okay. That's enough. One more bite. One more bite. Maybe I'm a little biased because there's a vampire on the front cover, but wow. That's tough to beat. Alright. Let's go to the contender, Mr. Frankenberry. This looks exactly like Fruit Brute. Like, almost the exact same thing. The only difference is that I guess the marshmallows are a little bit more... So you've got blue marshmallows in this one. So you have the pumpkin-shaped ones. And then you do have little ghost-shaped marshmallows, the pink ones here. So there's a little bit more variety in the marshmallows in this one. Alright. I have to release the palate. Unleash the palate. Attack! Attack! This one tastes as if Fruit Brute was really giving its 100%. Fruit Brute is the Slacker College edition of what this cereal needs to be, and this cereal is its full potential. So, I'm starting to think that Fruit Brute was just another scheme to get more money. That Chocula, Frankenberry, and Blueberry are the real deal in terms of the quality of the cereals. I hope I don't get cancelled for that. I can see why these two are in the main event. Okay. This one was a little bit more difficult. But for the main event, I have to give it to Count Chocula.
I'm Count Chocula. Chocula. After we learn through this code, It's goodbye to sitting home on Saturday nights. Nights.
Simply because this one really stands out amongst the pack. Because everything else is just very fruity, very berry. And you wonder, and nothing beats chocolate. I'm sorry, but even from an outsider's perspective, like, I don't see how you can get any better putting chocolate in a cereal. So, Count Chocula wins this round, but I do have to give an honorable mention to Frankenberry, because it is actually a delicious cereal. But, I have to stick with my own kind for this one. Count Chocula, the winner of the main event card. It's just delicious how the chocolate mixes with the grain and the marshmallow. This is definitely number one. The winner, Count Chocula. No compromises. Still, I have to say, Frankenberry and Blueberry do deserve an honorable mention. I was a little disappointed with Fruit Brute, simply because there doesn't seem to be anything different. I wish General Mills would be a little bit more sensitive to the needs of monsters around the world, and maybe have different flavors centered around different monsters. Like, maybe you could do a caramel flavored cereal with a harpy on it, or maybe I don't know what humans eat. Ketchup. Have a ketchup flavored cereal with Jason Voorhees. But you know, notwithstanding copyright laws and all that good stuff. But I digress. So, wow, what a fun time I've had. You know, now that I think about it, I really wish that Yummy Mommy could have been here. But something tells me that it's probably not that different from Frankenberry. Oh well, I digress. It is time for me to surrender the reins of the spooky spoopy Spook Shack and return to the Funhouse. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, go to dandyfunhouse.com and become a supporter. Supporters of the show receive exclusive content, like behind-the-scenes videos of the episodes that we produce. For super supporters, if you send us your mailing address, we will send you a one-of-a-kind special gift just for you. And if you feel so inclined, support your favorite vampire, Count Drahoon. I am on Instagram and Twitter, @Count Drahoon, all one word. I am also on the Facebook. Just give us a like. We have a like page for our podcast, Count Drahoon's Feature of Fright, where we tell radio theater plays of horror comedy, and we also do interviews with horror-related guests, such as Joe Bob Briggs and Lloyd Kaufman. You can go to featureoffright.com to learn more of how you can support the show, or you could subscribe to Troma Now and watch unabridged episodes of my show on the streaming service. Be sure to come back next time to the Dandy Funhouse, where everything is always fun and dandy. I just thought of a dastardly idea. Oh, this takes me back. Oh, my good mad science phase again. Yes! Oh, mad chemistry all over again. This is wonderful. I've combined Frankenberry and Count Chocula. It wasn't as fulfilling as I'd hoped it would be. Oh boy.
The Monster Cereals. The Monsters Go Disco. Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and blueberry. Monsters.
Another Saturday night rolls around. I'm Frankenberry. I'm so handsome. All the girls will hustle with me.
I'm Count Chocula. Chocula. After we learn to disco, it's goodbye to sitting home on Saturday nights. Nights. Let's go disco.
Disco's here.
Let's go disco.
Disco's there.
Let's go disco.
Disco where?
Let's go disco. Let's go disco.
Disco's here.
Let's go disco.
Disco's there.
Let's go disco.
Disco where?
Let's go disco.
Disco's there. Oh yes, I'm Blueberry. I can see it now. I'm so light on my feet. I'll boogie all night.
It's hard to believe that three wild and crazy guys, monsters like ourselves, sit home alone. Let's go disco.
Disco's here.
Let's go disco.
Disco's there.
Let's go disco.
Disco where?
I said to get down and roll. Let's go disco.
Disco's here.
Let's go disco.
Disco's there.
Let's go disco.
Disco where?
I said to get down and roll.
Count Chocula and Frankenberry meet the Fruity Yummy Mummy.
Hey, have a bite. It's new Fruity Yummy Mummy cereal.
Big yummy marshmallows.
So monstrously big there. Monster Mellows. With Yummy Mummy Monster Mellows. Fruity Yummy Mummy makes your tummy go yummy.
Monster Mellows in Frankenberry, Count Chocula, and now new Fruity Yummy Mummy cereal. Part of this complete breakfast.
Makes your tummy go yummy.